Hi, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am Chastity with Backwards KC Plants, and today I'm going to do a video on Scindapsus. So I have many varieties, and that was actually probably my first love into the rare plants. And I just like how easy they are. I dislike how slow they are though, and they're really slow. And when I first started collecting, of course, is probably during the plant boom. So I paid an arm and a leg for everything, and I only got a cutting, and most of the time I was buying from Canadian people, and then people got smart and wanted to make a quick buck, and they were importing their plants in from Thailand or wherever else they got them from, would cut them, and they would get maybe an activated node or a small tiny little root, and they would sell it. And I was dumb enough to pay for it, and the only disappointing thing is I lost a lot of them, and I actually quit buying pretty much from Canada, period, which is really disappointing because I believe that we should support our own. But that being said, I don't agree with shady sellers, and when you're selling a plant, I think everything should be out in the open. If it's not rooted, say so. I would have like mad respect for people who did that. Because a lot of times I would receive the plant, I would be super trusting and think that the plant was fully rooted and acclimated, and I would throw it out to the middle of my house, and all of a sudden I'd have no leaves left, and I wouldn't have a clue why. And then a lot of times the roots rotted, or what root they said was there, and then the stem would start rotting, and then it's impossible to stop it. So I am going to disclose some of the prices that I paid, and then some of the prices I actually don't remember on some of them, but I do have a fairly good memory on some. So there was one that I did not show in this video. I have 17 out here. This is not my whole collection, and I have many more. Was the Exotica. So I got an Exotica actually from a lady in Saskatoon, and it had 2 leaves, 1 plant, and I paid 55 bucks for it. I remember that. And now Exotica are in Walmart and stuff, and you can buy an 8-inch basket for about 20-25 bucks. So yeah, I mean, I've definitely learned with plants that prices do come down. You just have to be patient, but sometimes I wasn't patient. And honestly, I really don't regret spending 50 bucks. I mean, there's a lot worse that I'm going to show you here that I paid way more for, that is only now worth about 25 bucks a leaf. So that being said, this is in no particular order, and there's going to be variegated, non-variegated, beginner ones, like cheap ones. So I didn't do like a this is my whole rare collection, and this is only a variegated Scindapsus. This is everything. I have the plain Jane green ones, but I love them still. And then I have some of the OGs that first started coming out to the rare plant market. So that being said, the first one is Manjula. So this guy, I'm not gonna say this one's easy, because I find when I cut it, I lose a lot of the cuttings, and I have tried rooting in pretty much everything. But I literally started this pot from maybe a couple of plants, and yeah. So I bought this from a Canadian seller, probably sellers, because there's probably a few in here now. But I paid $60 a cutting, and I lost a lot of the cuttings. I know that, and I kept trying and trying, because I was like, one day I'm going to conquer this plant. And I still haven't really conquered it, but I think she's gorgeous. So keep in mind, I am a plant seller, so I do cut and prop a lot. So these are my mother plants, or I think, no, actually, yeah, all of these are pretty much my mother plants. So this one does get cut and prop from a lot, but yeah, I think she's gorgeous. They got really nice variegation. If you can get them to root in your soil afterwards from cutting, like, you're golden. But I find getting them to root without rotting and then transferring them over to soil, they suck. But such is life. They're still beautiful. And I also have a really big one too in my basement because I saw Thailand growers were actually growing them up poles. So fun fact, Scindapsus actually grow out in the wild in the Philippines and Thailand, and they grow up trees. So if you can get them attached to something, the leaves get huge. I actually had sold one a couple years ago to a lady, and it was big mature leaves, and the leaves will fenestrate, believe it or not. I don't know about all of them, but some of them will. My next one, I have to see what the name is because I don't even remember what this one is. Okay, this is a big gal. She needs a haircut, and it is only one. So this one is called Silver Princess. And as you can see, she's quite long. So she needs a haircut because there's only one in here. I bought her quite a few years ago. The leaves are actually quite huge. I want to say I spent about $65, and she came with one leaf. And not rooted again. So, but yeah, she's been easy. I actually keep her in my living room, or not living room, my dining room. And she doesn't get much light there. So if there's anything I have learned about Scindapsus, a lot of them don't need a palo light. So if it's a non-variegated version, I highly suggest putting it in lower light. They seem to do better there. But if you can give it some extra light, they do grow a little bit faster. This one I found actually, for the size of it, it does grow fairly fast. Keep in mind, I have had this one for, oh gosh, a few years anyways. So that's what she's grown in a few years. She's never been cut. So I guess that is rather slow. It does take a long time to recoup your money on Scindapsus. I will admit that. Okay. Let's go. I just got these ones maybe a month ago. I'm going to show them. So they're itty bitty. And I don't remember the prices off the top of my head. So I can't really give those. But this one is called Scindapsus Maharlika, I guess. I'm probably butchering the name. But it's gorgeous anyways. I have been after this one for a while. I remember when this one first came out and I was seeing it posted. It was hundreds of dollars. So I do know that I did not spend hundreds of dollars on it. But yeah, that is it. And then this one, I'm going to butcher the name too. It is called Bakudapati? Let's actually just show it there. And it's going to show it backwards probably for you guys. But either way, that is the plant there. I really like this one. This one did cost me quite a bit more. Again, not hundreds of dollars, but still up there. And this is the Mariposa. This was another one that when it first came out, it was a couple $100 per leaf. I did get these from a Canadian seller. They weren't really rooted. So I've learned my lesson there. When I reseed my plants, I pretty much unroot them, or not unroot them, but uncup them, see what I'm dealing with for roots, and then decide what I'm doing with them. But most of my Scindapsus I grow with, you can see there, it's got leca in the bottom, and then I use cocoa perlite. That's like my go-to for pretty much everything. That is not how I root them though. Depending on what they are, I would say Manjula, I only root in leca. Everything else I usually try to root with a layer of leca on the bottom. This is like no drainage. And then I use fluval and perlite. And yeah, I find if they start rotting, switch it, go to leca. Leca seems to be a real good one to root in, and make sure that you put everything into high humidity under a light. And this little guy is called Salamount. I've never heard of this one. So again, I've had these ones for a couple of weeks, maybe a month now. They're really slow growing, so it'll be a long time before I can offer any of these for sale. And this one is called White Diamond. I find some of these start looking kind of the same as the other ones with the variegated ones, so I'm going to start getting picky on what I'm bringing in because I would like to have a variety of different looking plants. So, but that's okay. And then this is a Silver Night Aurora. This one I really like. I think that's like super beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous variegation. I accidentally bought 2 of these. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just resell the one. But I think I'm going to actually pot both of them up together and start my stock of mothers. Okay. Let's go with this guy. So this is one of my OGs. I've had him from the very beginning. And lots of people actually don't like them. And lots of people refer to them as the spinach plant. So if you're looking for a very easy Scindapsus, this is it. This guy is called Shangrila. So he has a fairly large vine. So I actually sold out of this at one point. And I was like, nope, I don't want them. They don't sell. And then I ended up doing an import from Thailand and I brought in a few pieces again. And I kept the pieces for myself. So, and I'm actually quite happy I kept them because I think that's super cute. So when they are really happy, they open their leaves. Not saying that this guy's not happy because most of them are all closed up, but I was reading that when they're super happy, they tend to open their leaves and then they'll curl them back up. But yeah, very easy plant. This guy roots like none other. I have no complaints with him. So if you're looking for a plant that you would like to get into and have it for your store or anything like that, this is the one. I'm probably going to eventually cut this because it's hanging quite far down my living room ladder. And yeah, so if somebody's looking for some, let me know. I do not sell unrooted plants. My plants are all rooted. I'm not into selling unrooted plants. And I know lots of people try to sway me and say like, oh, I'm fine, I can root the plants. That's fine. I know that you guys can, but that goes against my business and what I want to do. So I want everyone to have a well-rooted plant that nobody has to fuss with. These guys, when they first came out, were a lot of money too. So this guy is actually in a wally grow, so he hangs on my wall, but sorry, this is called Global Green. She gorgeous. I love her. Another very easy plant, easy to root. I usually grow this one in root it in layer of luck on the bottom, fluval perlite. She roots like crazy, transfers over to soil like super easy as well. Gorgeous variegation on it. Like, there's nothing to not like about it. Other than this one loves to get thrips. Like, every fall, she ends up with thrips. And then I'm mad because I find this one doesn't do well with spray. So I am known for using Dr. Doom. And yeah, as soon as I sprayed her, she would start going yellow and then I'd pick leaves off. But look how bushy she is again. And I have not been adding back to her. So whatever I cut off, I pretty much just throw into pots and I resell them. So yeah, I actually probably have some in my basement. So if anybody's looking for Global Green, you can send me a message. Or you can find me on my Facebook. I am under Backwards KC Plants. I have a group and a page. Okay. This guy here is also not rare anymore, but look at her. This is my Neon Pothos. So I guess I didn't really explain that, hey? So Scindapsus, aka Pothos. So whichever you prefer to go by. But yeah, this is my Neon Pothos. And I've had her forever. And she's another one that loves to get thrips. Usually every midsummer, fall, she ends up with them. And then she ends up being twigs, and then I'm mad, and she bounces back though. She looks really nice and good. Good just in time for summer so that she can get thrips again. And she also loves to go yellow when she's sprayed as well too. So not much you can do about it, but such is life. This one you don't see much about. This one I paid a lot of money for. A lot of money for. And they came with no roots. And the one actually showed up. It didn't even have a single node on it. And I messaged the seller and I said, how am I going to root this? Because it doesn't even consist of a node. So I actually ended up plunking it into leca, and it lived. It ended up growing enough that it grew an extra, almost like another leaf, and then it grew a node from that leaf. So I totally fluked out. So I was paying over $100 a leaf. So this is Jessenia. She's gorgeous. She does fade down to green after, but the new leaves come out like this. And I also will say this plant is a thrip magnet. Every fall, every spring, she gets thrips. It's super annoying, but such is life. Okay, we are down to my last 5. So these ones I've had a while. Here's another one. I paid a lot of money for this one. A lot of money. I think I paid $150 American for her. She came from Indonesia. This is the variegated jade satin. Actually, it's not variegated jade satin. I lied. It's the marble. Variegated jade satin marble. It's gorgeous, but yeah, oh man, how many years did I import this ago? 3 years? 4 years? And I don't think I've sold a single piece off of it. So this is what you see is what you get. There are 2 plants in here though. So I took a cutting of it and I put it back in. So, like I said, still haven't made my money back on it. Do I regret paying that for it? No. Like, I do wish that I would have paid less, obviously, but I didn't think prices would drop so badly. I want to say these are about $25 to $50 a piece now. I'm not really sure, but it's gorgeous. But yeah, it'll take me many years to get my money back on her, but that's okay. Okay, I included one plant in here that I'm not a huge fan of. I remember how I said I'm really picky about how some of my leaves look, and if there's like a little piece of brown on them, I chop it off. So this is called the variegated Rubicon. See that brown? That drives me wild. And like, I find all the leaves on this do that. So it drives me nuts. Like they just crisp off on the tips. So I imported this one from Indonesia as well. I don't really remember what I paid for it. Maybe 75 bucks. So enough. I did cut her and all the cuttings rotted. Yay. So I'm gonna have to rethink how I'm going to root them. I'm pretty sure I did it in a layer of leca with fluval and perlite, and yeah, every single one rotted. So that's great. And well, let's go with this one. So this one also, I think I had it too close to the light and I let it dry out a little bit. This is my Halimoon. So actually when I bought this, it was pretty much reverted. You can't see it from here because it had lower leaves, but I lost the lower leaves. But she has come into high variegation now. So I did actually sell a whole bunch of these. I'm going to cut her again. So if you are looking for some, shoot me a message because I will have more. I sell them all rooted, fully rooted, full cup of roots. $45, and it's usually got 2 to 3 leaves on it. She's gorgeous. I find this one actually fairly fast growing. I've only had her probably not even a year, and I've cut her twice so far. So this will be my 3rd time cutting her. So if you're looking for a fast grower, this one's it. Okay. And then this one. Does anybody recognize this? This is Scindapsus Mayari. So I imported this one from Thailand. She's gorgeous. If I had to pick my absolute favorite Scindapsus, this is it. I love her a lot. And I paid $200 for her. That was for a leaf. And when plants arrive from Thailand, a lot of times the roots rot off. So the roots rotted off and I had to restart her. So, and now people are selling them for about $25. So I try to stay within reason of what everybody else is posting. I sold mine for $25 and it had maybe 2 leaves on it. These guys are slower growing. I've had this one for 3-4 years now. I think I've cut her 3 or 4 times. So I would say lots of Scindapsus you're probably only going to cut about maybe once or twice a year if you're lucky. I'm going to go with once a year. I do not grow all of mine in grow tents. Mine are sitting out in room humidity. So that could be why mine are a whole lot slower too. So, and I'm from Canada, which is really dry here. In the winters, my humidity usually drops to about 15 to 18%. If I'm lucky, it might hover around the 20s, but usually not when it's really cold or really low in humidity. But I will have some more of these for sale. I do have a bunch that are rooting right now. And I'm going to cut her again because I don't like when they start growing vines and shooting out blanks. And I've got a few blanks hanging out. So, and yeah. But I may only have 1 or 2 because I like to add back to my mother plant. So I have a larger mother plant and I can get plants out to you guys even faster that way. And I'm not about to import more. Okay, my last plant is Scindapsus Peasun. I might be saying it wrong, but it's Peasun. This one is gorgeous too. This one grows really fast. Super fast, actually. I want to say I've cut this one about 3 times and I've had it for maybe a year. So not all of them are really slow. Some of them are quite fast. But yeah, that is that. So once again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out. Please like and subscribe. And if you want to leave a comment, that would really help. Until next time, I guess, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.